KREM 2 News 10 at 10 begins now.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight for KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where we give you more news in less time. I'm Cody Proctor. Well, we are really feeling the change of the season right now. Thanks to rain, we've also seen some mountain snow throughout parts of our region. We've got meteorologist Michelle Boss getting us prepared for the very first weekend of November.
Yeah, the snow will continue in the higher elevations, Sherman Pass, Washington Pass, and then even Lookout Pass over the next 48 hours. It's going to see some accumulating snow, so if you have any travel plans, just be prepared. It's that time of year. You're going to see some wintry precipitation, but it's just all rain in the valleys right now. In fact, temperatures are very mild out there right now and will remain mild overnight in the 40s, 44 in Spokane, 41 in Coeur d'Alene, coolest up north in Sandpoint, but still got some 50s out there in the Tri-Cities, Pomeroy, Lewiston, and Walla Walla. No shortage of wet weather. It has pretty much rained all day today here in Spokane, and we still see rain moving through the region. And even as I zoom out, there's plenty more where that moisture came from. So expect continued rain tonight and tomorrow morning. Again, continuation of snow in the higher elevations. Winter weather advisory in the purple shaded areas for portions of the central Idaho Panhandle. That will be Saturday into Sunday. But short-term forecast here, just more rain. Temperatures in the 40s. Weekend not a washout, though. We'll turn more showery Saturday afternoon with a high of 49 and should see a dry day outside of the mountains on Sunday with a high of 47.
With the general election just 4 days away, the state of Washington's working to keep the voting process secure. Just hours ago, Governor Jay Inslee activated some members of the National Guard to be on standby to help with public safety during the election. The press release from the governor's office goes on to say, quote, "This is a purely precautionary measure taken in response to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security's nationwide warnings regarding threats to election infrastructure and other recent activities that have occurred in southwestern Washington." We've also learned half of Spokane County voters have already returned their ballots. That's according to the Washington Secretary of State ballot return statistics. About 189,000 ballots have been returned so far. There's only about 1,600 ballots challenged so far. Now, challenged ballots are sent to a supervisor for a final decision. Election officials may contact you if there's a problem with your ballot. As a reminder, ballots must be in a drop box and be postmarked by 8 p.m. on Election Day. New at 10 tonight, the school board for Spokane Public Schools voted on a new board member this afternoon, selecting Nicole Bishop to take over the position left vacant by Melissa Bedford. Bedford resigned back in August. Bishop, who's currently the philanthropy manager for Spokane Neighborhood Action Partners, was one of 3 candidates who made it past the final round of interviews. During the meeting, board member Mike Weiser said it took a long time to come to their decision since all the candidates were good choices.
This can be a time-consuming role on the school board, and it was clear to me that the folks who we were talking to were ready for all that it brings.
Bishop's set to be sworn in during the next school board meeting next Wednesday. Also new tonight, Ada County deputies turn to the public to help identify an Idaho teen believed to have been abducted and murdered by the infamous serial killer Ted Bundy. During an hour-long confession tape with Idaho investigators right before his 1989 execution, Bundy said he believed the girl was running away from the Boise area and may have been headed to Montana. He described her as being 16 to 18 years old, about 5 feet 6 inches tall, with light brown hair. Bundy said she was carrying a green backpack and wearing a beaded necklace. If you remember someone who went missing around September in 1974 or knew someone who fits her description, call the number right there at the bottom of your screen. We're getting new photos showing evidence against a Cusick man who killed thousands of protected birds, including bald and golden eagles. He'll spend just under 4 years in prison for the crimes. The birds were killed for their feathers, which are sacred to many indigenous people, including the Coeur d'Alene tribe. KREM 2's Christian Garza visited their aviary in Plummer, where they care for their birds.
Eagles represent things like strength and freedom, but to the Coeur d'Alene tribe and to tribes across the country, these animals have a more deep-rooted cultural significance as well.
We view these animals as the closest animals that we have in our country to the Creator himself.
Hemi James, the Coeur d'Alene Tribe vice chairman, tells me these animals are viewed as overseers and liaisons between humans and the spiritual world for Native American people. James says that's why in the Native American culture they cherish all of the different gifts given to them by the eagles and use them for ceremonial purposes, amongst other things. He says he is personally hurt when he hears that people disrespect these animals.
It makes me sad as an Indian person. At no point in the history of the Coeur d'Alene tribe or Indian people in general have we ever condoned the thoughtless and emotionless taking of these animals.
With their significance to Native American culture in mind, the Coeur d'Alene tribe opened an eagle aviary where they are able to house up to 4 bald eagles and 4 golden eagles at a time.
We picked up this parcel of land and thought that this would be a perfect spot, to house these birds.
Fish and Wildlife Program Manager for the Coeur d'Alene Tribe, Ralph Allen, tells me they originally got the permit for the project from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service back in 2016.
To be able to take care of these birds and distribute the feathers that are lost every year to our tribal membership it's a great deal.
Allen tells me this aviary isn't a rehabilitation center, though. All of the birds that are taken here either have injuries or were abandoned as babies, so they wouldn't be able to survive out in the wild. The Coeur d'Alene tribe tells me they haven't seen poachers in the area in recent years, and in fact have seen eagle populations grow, something James says is a testament to the resiliency of these creatures.
It gives us inspiration as Indian people to know that we share that with those eagles.
Allen says that the future goal for this aviary is to get funding for upkeep as well as moving it to a more centralized location so that way everyone has a chance to enjoy it. In Sanders, Christian Garza, KREM 2 News.
Christian, thank you so much. Let's turn now to Night Feed for a quick look at the day's top stories. A man accused in a child rape case in Erie Heights made his first appearance before a Spokane judge today. 34-year-old Franken Poles charged with first-degree rape of a child and first-degree child molestation involving an 8-year-old girl. The alleged crimes happened in June, but Frankenpole fled the area and was arrested in Oregon. The judge set his bond at $500,000. He faces up to life in prison if convicted of either charge against him. A family Halloween event at a mall in Southwest Washington ended in gunfire last night. Now, Clark County police are looking for a suspect in a shooting at the Vancouver Mall. They say one person died, 2 others were hurt. Witnesses told police they saw someone wearing a mask opening fire. Parents and kids in costumes had to take shelter inside stores until police cleared out the mall.
We ran through Old Navy and hid in the back until the employees, who were amazing, ushered us into a back office area with 20 other people. And we hung out there until we could get the okay from the SWAT team to come out.
Police reviewed security footage to try and identify the suspect. No arrests have been made so far. And Whitman County's outbreak of pertussis continues to grow. There are now 11 new cases since last week and 48 total cases in the county. Also known as whooping cough, it usually starts with cold-like symptoms, but can turn into severe coughing fits. It can last for months. As cases continue to rise, Whitman County Public Health urges those with confirmed cases to isolate. If you have symptoms, get tested. And that was your Night Beat. To learn more about any of these stories, just head to our website, krem.com. Well, happening tomorrow, Mount Spokane's hosting their job fair. This year's available positions include rental technicians, customer service, food service, and ski and snowboard instructors. The ski resort's asking people to fill out their application early and arrive at Lodge 1 tomorrow to talk about joining the team. All right, you know what night it is? A KREM 2 favorite, Football Fridays, returns again this evening. Be sure to join us tonight in the second half of our KREM 2 News at 11 for our high school football show. There are several big games around the Inland Northwest that we're covering for you tonight. So make sure to join us on KREM 2 News at 11. We'll see you there. And that was your KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where you get more news in less time.